Some choices change everything. In episode 11 of the Chi, loyalty gets tested, enemies come closer, and the people we thought we could trust. They start showing their true colors. If you thought this season was heating up, this episode throws gasoline on the fire. Let's break it all down. This season of the Chi has been all about power, survival, and family. We've watched Emmett slowly lose control of his life, all while trying to stay ahead of Douda, one of the most dangerous men in the game. Douda isn't just a businessman. He's a quiet storm, always 2 steps ahead, and not afraid to get his hands dirty. Emmett thought he could play both sides, stay clean, make money, and still keep his soul. But that kind of balance doesn't last long on the south side. Then there's Kiesha, trying her best to hold her family together. She's a mother now, a survivor, and she's been through more than most people can handle. But even though she's strong, she's not bulletproof. This season, we've seen her wrestle with her past, try to keep her kids safe, and support Emmett as he sinks deeper into danger. But at some point, she has to ask, is Emmett dragging her down with him? Meanwhile, Victor, formerly known as Trig, is walking a thin line. He stepped into the political world, trying to make real change from the inside. He wants better schools, safer streets, and a future that doesn't leave kids stuck in the cycle. But politics in Chicago, it's not clean. He's had to compromise, lie, and play the media's game. And now people are starting to see through the polished image. The community's respect is slipping, and his personal secrets are becoming public ammo for his enemies. Papa has also gone through a major shift. After losing his father, he's dealing with grief in real time. He's searching for faith, for purpose, for something to make the pain make sense. This season has shown him more mature, but also more distant from his old friends. He's trying to grow, but pain like that doesn't go away overnight. His relationship with Kenya has been one of the few bright spots, but even that's had tension. We can't forget about Kevin either, who's finally moved away to California to chase his gaming dreams. It was a huge step and a hard goodbye, but it gave space for the show to focus more on the tight tension building back home, especially around Douda's growing control over everyone's lives. All of this has been building towards something. The streets feel colder, the risks are higher. And in episode 10, things started to really snap. Emmett got caught between standing up to Douda and protecting his family. Victor was warned that playing the political game too long means you might lose your soul. And Douda, he's no longer hiding in the shadows. He's out front, daring anyone to step against him. Now, episode 11 picks up with the pressure turned all the way up. In the next section, we'll go deep into everything that went down, scene by scene, twist by twist. Episode 11 begins with a sense of tension you can feel in your chest. The air is heavy. It opens with Emmett waking up in the middle of the night. He's sweating. He's on edge. The gun is still in the drawer beside the bed. Kiesha notices, but doesn't say anything. Not yet. She knows something's been off, but tonight the silence is louder than ever. Emmett's not sleeping because he knows the walls are closing in. In the last episode, he told Douda he was out of the business, out of the street deals, out of the fear. But with Douda, it's never that simple. You don't leave him. You escape him, or you get buried. Emmett knows this. He just doesn't know how close danger really is. Next, we move to Douda, cool, sharp, and deadly calm. He's sitting at a table across from one of his new partners. It's a business meeting, but there's no paperwork, no contracts. Just quiet threats and fake smiles. He's talking about loyalty. About how people forget who put them on. And there's a look in his eyes. That look Douda gives right before something bad happens. He's already planning his next move, and we start to realize Emmett's not the only one on his list. We cut to Victor, who's at a press event shaking hands, smiling for cameras. He's got the polished suit, the campaign smile, the right words, but under all that, he's a man barely holding it together. He gets pulled aside by his advisor, who tells him, "We got a problem. The news has caught wind of his past with Douda, photos, witnesses, maybe more." And now Victor is faced with the one thing he's been trying to avoid all season, being exposed. Meanwhile, Kiesha is at home with the kids. She tries to act normal, but you can tell she's worried. She finds Emmett's phone buzzing nonstop. Messages, missed calls, and one text from an unknown number. "He's coming." That's all it says. No name, no details, just a warning. That's the moment Kiesha finally breaks the silence. She calls Emmett and says, "You need to come home now, but Emmett can't come home, not yet. Because in the next scene, he's sitting across from someone we haven't seen in a while, one of Douda's old enemies. A man who's been watching from the shadows, waiting for his chance. Emmett is desperate. He wants help, protection, a way out, but the man tells him, "You waited too long. He already marked you." Emmett's face falls, the exit door he thought he had. It's closing fast. Back on the south side, we jump to Papa and Paul Curry. They're arguing in the alley behind the church. Papa found out Paul Curry has been back doing jobs for Douda, dangerous jobs. They go back and forth, voices rising, fists clenching. Paul Curry says, "You think prayer's gonna save this city?" And Papa fires back, "It's the only thing we got left." It's one of the most emotional scenes of the episode. Two young black men trying to figure out how to survive in a world that's always trying to bury them and each other. Then comes the twist. Later that night, Emmett finally returns home. Kiesha confronts him. She shows him the message. She asks him straight up, "Is Douda going to kill you?" Emmett doesn't answer. He just sits down on the couch and says, "I don't know." That silence, that moment. It's louder than any gunshot. And just when you think the tension's about to let up, it gets worse. Someone knocks at the door. Emmett stands slowly. Kiesha grabs the kids and backs up. Emmett opens the door, and it's not Douda. It's someone from Emmett's past, someone unexpected. We won't spoil the exact identity here, but trust me, it changes the game. The episode ends with a close-up of Emmett's face. No words, just eyes full of fear, pain, and something else, maybe regret. Maybe resolve. The screen fades to black, but that's not all. Right before the credits roll, we hear a voiceover. It's Douda. Calm, slow, deadly. Everybody wants freedom. But freedom has a price. Cut to black. This episode isn't just about street drama or action. It's about pressure. The kind of pressure that turns regular people into survivors or into enemies. One of the strongest themes in episode 11 is consequences. Every choice made in this season is starting to come back around, and the characters are being forced to face things they tried to bury. Let's start with Emmett. His story this episode is all about a man trying to do the right thing, but realizing it might be too late. Emmett has spent most of the season stuck in the middle. He's not a gangster, but he's connected to one. He's not trying to rule the streets, but he wants to protect his family. And in the Chi, those two things don't mix. We've seen him struggle with pride, fear, and guilt. But in this episode, that quiet breakdown at the end, it speaks. Louder than any words, Emmett knows now that he may not survive this unless he does something drastic. The text message Kiesha receives, "He's coming," is more than just a warning. It's a symbol. It shows how the danger that Emmett thought he could manage is now spilling into their home, their family space. Kiesha's reaction is a key moment. She's been strong all season, but now she's no longer just reacting. She's demanding answers. She wants to protect her kids. And the silence Emmett gives her isn't weakness, it's fear. Because when you deal with Douda, there's no playbook. One wrong move, and everything can collapse. Douda, as always. represents more than just a villain. He's not just a man, he's a system. He's what happens when power is unchecked, when fear becomes currency. What's chilling about Douda is that he doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't chase people down, he just waits, plans, sends messages. And somehow, his presence is always felt, even when he's not on screen. That final voiceover line. Everybody wants freedom, but freedom has a price. That's his entire philosophy. You don't get out clean. There's always a cost. Asterisk, let's talk about Victor next. This man is walking a tightrope, and it's getting thinner by the day. His run for political office was supposed to be a fresh start. But the deeper he gets into the world of politics, the more he realizes it's just like the streets, only with fancier clothes and cleaner lies. The warning he gets about his past being exposed. That's huge, and it's not just about what people will think, it's about what happens when trust disappears. Victor has tried to rebrand himself, but this episode forces him to face the truth. You can't outrun your history. You have to own it, or it owns you. And then there's Papa and Paul Curry. That alley scene might be one of the most emotional moments in the episode. These two have grown up together, but they're going in completely different directions. Papa's searching for hope, for purpose, through faith. Paul Curry is stuck in survival mode. Neither of them is fully right or wrong, and that's the beauty of it. Papa's anger is rooted in fear, and Bakari's choices are shaped by pain. That fight is about more than just words. It's about two young men trying to figure out if there's any future that doesn't involve violence, betrayal, or lost. Asterisk now about that mystery person at the door, the one who shows up at Emmett and Kiesha's house. Their arrival is a turning point. It forces Emmett to think differently. This person represents a fork in the road. Go deeper into fear or start fighting back. We're not told everything in this episode, but the message is clear. Help might be out there, but it comes with its own risk. Nothing in the chi comes free. Asterisk, a deeper symbolic thread running through this episode is silence. It shows up again and again. Emmett says nothing when asked direct questions. Victor can't speak honestly to the public. Papa and Paul Curry stop listening to each other mid-argument. Kiesha holds back until the last minute. This silence is heavy. It represents how trauma, pride, and fear stop people from being real. And in the chi, that silence can be deadly. Asterisk, but even in all the darkness, there's something else quietly growing. Resistance. You can feel it in the characters. They're scared, yes, but they're not broken. Kiesha's strength, Emmett's desperation, Victor's inner conflict, even Papa's faith. These are signs that not everyone is giving in. That maybe, just maybe, they're going to start fighting back. Asterisk, episode 11 didn't just give us answers, it gave us new questions. It didn't resolve anything. It raised the stakes for everyone. That's what makes this episode stand out. It's not just another step in the season. It's a clear sign that everything's about to change. No one's safe, and the ones who think they are, they're probably the next to fall. Asterisk, let's talk about Emmett again. His silence, his fear, and that last scene proves something big. He's cornered. And when someone like Emmett, who's always tried to keep peace, starts to feel trapped, he'll either break or transform. This episode is likely the moment he begins that transformation. It's no longer about staying out of the game. It's about surviving it. In the next episode, we may finally see Emmett go from running scared to standing his ground. Asterisk Kiesha is ready too. Her maternal instinct is stronger than ever, and she's not going to sit around while threats come knocking. That look in her eyes when she confronted Emmett, that was the look of someone who's done playing safe. Kiesha might not hold power in the streets, but she holds emotional power, and that's just as dangerous when someone's coming for your family. Asterisk Victor is reaching his breaking point as well. The exposure of his past especially his ties to Douda, is about to flip his world upside down. He's played the clean-cut politician long enough, but the next episode may show us what happens when a man is forced to stop pretending. The big question now is, will he try to fix things the right way? Or will he go back to his old ways to protect his future? Asterisk, and what about Douda? Asterisk, this episode was Douda's quiet reminder. He's still the one pulling strings. He didn't need to shout. He didn't need to show up with violence. All he needed to do was let everyone feel his reach, and they did. The message is clear. No matter where you go, if you've ever been under Douda's thumb, you're never really free. But here's the twist. That kind of control never lasts forever. You push people too far, and eventually they push back. Asterisk, the mystery figure at the door. That's the writers planting a seed. Whether it's an old ally, a returning face, or a new threat, their arrival could shift the entire final arc of the season. If they're there to help, Emmett might have a shot at turning the tables on Douda, but if not, it might already be too late. Asterisk, then there's Papa and Paul Curry. Their falling out isn't just about right and wrong, it's about what happens when young men are forced to grow up too fast. Their fight is the heart of the community's real struggle, trying to find meaning in chaos. The next episode may show whether they pull apart completely, or finally find common ground again, because if the Chi has taught us anything, it's that no one survives alone. Asterisk, looking ahead to episode 12, we can expect, asterisk, confrontations. People will finally say what they've been holding back. Secrets will spill. Asterisk, a possible betrayal. Someone inside the circle might switch sides. Asterisk, a shift in power. Either Douda tightens his grip, or someone dares to challenge him. Asterisk, a major character moment. Either a death, a disappearance, or a decision that flips the table. Asterisk, this season has been building towards something bigger. Not just a fight between characters, but a battle for the soul of the South Side. Who controls it? Who protects it? And who's willing to risk everything to change it? Asterisk, one thing is for sure, episode 12 is going to be explosive. Asterisk, now let's hear from you. Asterisk, do you think Emmett will finally stand up to Douda? Asterisk, is Victor going to come clean to the public or sink with the lies? Asterisk, and who do you think was really at that door? Asterisk, drop your thoughts, theories, or predictions down in the comments. Asterisk, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more breakdowns, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss next week's recap. Asterisk, because if you thought this episode was wild, asterisk, you haven't seen anything yet. Asterisk.